Welcome to my completed project in Capitol Hill, DC. This one is currently on the market in the highly sought after Capitol Hill area. This gave me an opportunity. Story behind this shelving. We ran new ductwork, and I always tried to utilize the space. So because we ran the ductwork and we had to kind of U-frame this whole area, I use some of the space to create shelving and lighting. Wherever I have the opportunity to add some type of amenity or utilize the space, that's what I try to do. So this was kind of put on the market during the holidays last month. Now the showings are beginning to pick up, to be expected. Whenever you place a property on the market during the holiday season, you have the potential to have to wait for people to finish their holiday festivities. And because we went on the market December, right after Thanksgiving, people are preparing for Christmas and the New Year and vacationing. And so there's all of that. Again, this is kind of like our custom theme, and we do it a lot of properties. The vented railing, so to speak. We went with the blue. I wanted to go with like a nice blue accent. The stager did well with building off the colors. There's blue in the photos. This again was another bump out area. There is some lines, some utility lines running through here, as well as duct. So because we had to frame this up, I used that framing as an opportunity to put in the fireplace, so that that would make sense. And then we just tiled it all the way up. And in this, there's some very, very light strains of blue in there that pops off the more prevalent blue that we have. And then I talked to my guy. I said, yo, I know you do a lot of quartz, but I want to do a quartz that has a blue in it. And this worked out quite well. So if you can see some blue strains going throughout there. The gold finishings throughout. Gold faucet, gold pools. And over here we have a wine cooler. Wanted to do the floating shelves to occupy that space. All new appliances. Redid the deck, redid the railing, private parking in the back. So all of this is brand new. New condenser unit. RFK, you can see is right there. Not too long ago, they had a discussion. Biden gave the rights of RFK back to the city of DC, which means who knows what is coming. Part of me wants to keep this property, Airbnb, hold on to it for a couple years and then resell. I think that, one of the things that DC wants to do is bring the stadium back to DC. And if that happens, not only is the stadium going to be there, but shopping centers is going to be there, new dwelling is going to be there. This price and the value of this area will skyrocket. So, big part of me is highly considering holding on to this property for a while, allowing the value to increase, and then selling it, or continue with Airbnb. Because if I Airbnb it, the prices for that I can rent it for during the season, with all the things that can potentially go there, will be amazing. Not to mention the area. And if I did do that, what I would do is put a door here and rent the basement separate from the upstairs. So let me show you the basement. Now, we've had some viewings that you can see. This is how, like I showed you in my last video, how people leave your property. When I came in, all the lights were on. I didn't turn those on. But you can see they just opened this up, left it open. All the lights are on down here as well. It's like, that's how it goes. That's how they do you. This is how they do you. Part 2, how they leave your property. But down here was we completely redid this. Motion sensor lights here. huge fireplace down here. Nice sitting area, laundry area here, and that's your utility. But this is a separate entrance. What I would do, and people who rented the lower level would park here. And then they would have this entrance here. And the people who rent the upper level would park in the front. There's ample parking in the front. And down here, little sitting area, bedroom, closet is over here, and full bath. So I am highly considering doing that. Highly considering. It is a quite attractive option. We shall see. We shall see. If I do rent it out separate, if I rent the basement out separate, I would. Now, there's a bathroom sink here. And there's an outlet there. So I may do a kitchenette here with a cooktop. That way they can have separate, they could be able to cook down here. Or I would get smaller washer and dryer, move that over, open this up, and put a little kitchenette along this wall. There's a couple of different options or ways that I can do it. So it'll be a smaller washer and dryer stack unit that will go over here, and then I would utilize the rest of the space for the kitchenette. Open up that wall, and then find another space upstairs to put a small washer and dryer for the people who rent the upstairs area. But I got this property off market, meaning that it was not on the MLS. I work with a lot of different wholesalers in the area, including the major ones. I also work with some more independent ones. And this was brought to me off market, closed, completely renovated. I wish let's see if I had footage of the earlier phases, but up here is 3 original bedrooms. This one and this one, not so original. This closet was bumped out because there used to be like a closet here, but I needed that for this bedroom. This bathroom used to go straight back. And this side was the closet that I took back and gave to this bathroom. So I split it in half and I bumped out for the extra square footage that I needed. But up here we got the black accents, smart mirror, white and gray tile to match the floor. This is the master. And you see the gold theme throughout. And now the master has a bath. I love this floor tile. It has light blue in it. This tile you've seen at my College Park property. Also, I used in the master. I wanted to use it once more because I love the way that the gold pops off of it. This is a vanity that sits out about 15 inches. I needed to find one that for the reason of the space that I had here. This worked out perfectly. It was a 24 by 15, which is rare. I was able to find that. Gold finishings throughout. Love this ceiling fan. There you go. It's a much better shot of RFK for you. And you know how amazing it'll be to be here during the game. I'm not a Commanders fan, but nonetheless, I'm a football fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't unsubscribe. But I love football. I think that it would be dope just to be in the atmosphere of when a game is going on, crack the windows, watching it, or walk to it, get you some tickets. So that would be dope. So what do I mean by off market? When a property is off market, that means that a wholesaler has made contact with an individual who wants to sell a property. When he makes contact with that individual who wants to sell a property, he proposes to them a price. And his price was accepted. Now, when he presents this price, he wants to make enough room in his offer to make a profit. Meaning that if he knows that he can sell it or pass it on to an investor at $520,000, he wants to get it under contract around $500,000. If he can get it under contract at $500,000, then he'll make $20,000. The better he is at his negotiation, the better profit margin that he'll have. Never really mattered to me how much of a profit that a wholesaler makes as long as my numbers make sense on my end. You know, it doesn't bother me if a wholesaler makes 40K on a deal, 50K on a deal. As long as it makes sense on my end, as long as the numbers make sense on my end. So they got under contract. It was a wholesaler that I worked with before. The funny thing is, I tried to get this property once and another investor got it under contract, but he couldn't close. So the property came back around with another wholesaler. Another wholesaler got under contract and brought it straight to me, and we closed in like 2 weeks. We were able to close in 2 weeks. The condition that you see it in now, was nowhere near that condition. Completely updated everything, renovated everything. I'm happy with the way that everything came out. It shows really well. So with showing starting to pick up now, I am in high hopes that this one won't last long, because not only do I know that DC has the rights back to RFK, but majority of the city knows too. And if you're wise, you know that that means that this value is going to skyrocket within the next 3 to 5 years, even if they don't necessarily do a football field. Now, it's been on record that the owner of the Commanders wants to come back to RFK, to DC. This is the perfect location. Even if they don't do that, though, they're going to do something with that space. What they're going to do, I don't know, but they're going to do something to upgrade that space. They're not just going to lose money there. I'm excited to see what they're going to do now. Will I keep it? That is the question. An option that I have is to refinance this deal. I could do a cash out refinance and hold on to it, put in some permanent furniture, and, fill it as an Airbnb, give it all the things that an Airbnb would need, and then rent it and hold on to it until as the value increases. Now, like I said, if the value increases, if the Airbnb is doing well, then I'll just continue to Airbnb it and let the value skyrocket. If the Airbnb is kind of stale and just kind of making ends meet, and then maybe I'll sell it. But real estate gives you so many options. It gives you so many options, and it's already under my LLC, so I wouldn't have to pay transfer taxes on refinancing it and putting it under another LLC. I've done this type of deal once before. It was under a partner LLC, and I had to transfer it into my own LLC when I did the refinance. The closing costs are a lot more expensive when you're transferring it from one LLC to another. But it's there, it's an option. So we shall see. We shall see. This one intrigues me. As the more people that are coming to see it, the more I feel kind of like under the gun. It's like, okay, now what am I going to do? What am I going to do? One thing I do like to do is I like to leave the fireplace lit without the heat blowing. But all the rest of these lights can go out. I don't know why they come and turn on it's like they try to find lights that they can turn on. It's crazy. But we're going to turn this fireplace on. Let's get the color code right, though. Let's go with gotta find something with like a blue. There we go. So we'll let that kind of be on without the heat blowing and get the rest of these lights out. But that's my Capitol Hill property. I haven't been buying in a while, so I had to come check on it. It's good to keep an eye on your property regularly. and I needed to check on it to make sure everything was on the up and up, nothing leaking, nothing. I did see something downstairs that we need to give attention to. So I have one of my guys come and take care of that. But other than that, everything is good. They just got all my lights on, which is to be expected. So we'll get those off. And until next time, man, stay tuned as we continue to renovate, update, and take over the city. All right? Peace.